In this video we cover the shooting angles and what these angles can achieve in your footage. You will learn which angle you should use and why. But why are camera angles so powerful? It's very simple, because the shot size, also called focal length, determines what we are looking at, and the camera angle tells us how we look at something. More different camera angles can bring you also a variety of shots in your final scene and can make your video more interesting to watch, and it makes your audience feel more connected to it. Also, the editing process is way easier when you have more different angles to choose from, but the most significant point is to amplify the motions you want to achieve. Let's start with the most common angle, which is to shoot at eye level. That is a very neutral way to show a character, that there is no judgment at all and can be used for everything, especially if you don't want to get a specific feeling to the shot or show someone as the person how it really is. The next shot is the low shot, which means camera placement is below the eye line. In this case, you will create the feeling that the character or the subject is more powerful or dominant than another, or bigger than it really is, because you as a viewer see up to them. The degree of how low the angle exactly is can be subtle or very extreme. The opposite of this is the high angle, which means the camera is placed above the eye line and looks down at the subject. This angle will create the feeling of weakness, scaredness, or someone feels small, or something big looks smaller than it really is. It can also be used for real shots to establish an environment, like a city's landscape. A character usually speaks to another character, so you can show with the high or low angle which character or subject has more power. Who is the hero, who is the villain. You have also the power to show how connected or disconnected the characters are. All this only by changing the angle slightly in the same scene. Another example is if you shoot one character from a high angle and the other from a low, you clearly show which one has the better cards. If you shoot everything from eye level, it means both characters are equivalent in a card game. Exactly that can create more tension, because you don't show which one has the better cards. Another angle is to film top down, also called the bird's eye view. It is mostly filmed with drones or camera on a crane or mounted somewhere high or on a ladder. That helps you to show an environment or a complex movement in a fight scene, or a person that speaks to heaven, or simply to show a product. It depends on the camera's exact height, so you can create something that looks very big or small, like a character is lost in a big empty space. The opposite is to film from the ground up. The camera is placed on the ground and faces up. In some cases this can create an interesting angle, and also surrounding objects look bigger than in real life. The next angle is the over the shoulder, also called OTS, which is mainly used in conversations between people. Mostly this is also filmed from the shoulder level. It creates the feeling of a slightly lower angle. The camera is placed behind of one of the two persons that you see, and the shoulder creates depth and gives the feeling as if you, as the viewer, are the person that is being talked to. You can combine the OTS with different camera heights if you want to show more context of a scene and if it helps to tell your story better. The next angle is the point of view. That is perfect for showing what's happening from the point of the character's eye. It can also be the view from another character. It allows the viewer to take on the view from another person and better understand the world of the character on a more personal level. It is mostly paired with the audio of what the character is actually hearing to reinforce the effect. The best angle to show terror, tension, unease, bad emotions, or simply something is wrong here is the dodge angle. It shifts the horizon levels and makes the viewer feel that something is off here, or use it simply to get other fancy shots. Another angle is filmed from the height of the hips. This will be also covered in the section of shot sizes. It's called the cowboy shot and shows the characters from the knees up. This came from the older cowboy films and was implemented to see the holsters from the guns. I, for my part, don't use this angle a lot. I summarize the last two angles because they are very similar. That is to shoot from the knee or ground level. That can be used to track something through an environment, or follow a character, or show some details that are missed in the wide shots. Multiplies the effect from a low angle and makes everything look bigger than it really is, especially combined with the wide focal length. Now you are aware of the different existing camera angles and what an effect these have on your footage. To capture many angles is good, especially for the post-production process, but if you plan your video enough upfront, you can save some time on set and capture only what you really need. Yes, for an action scene you have better more angles to create more tension in the editing, but when you want to show loneliness or sadness, you might be better with only one angle. See this example. There are a lot of cuts. And now no cut and only one angle. which one matches the feeling of sadness more. Not every time you need a lot of different angles. It highly depends on the emotion you are trying to create. Always try to ask yourself whether this perspective adds more to your story or takes away more. With film equipment like a gimbal or a Steadicam, you can easily combine different angles in one shot and create a fluid movement that is very good for showing in one shot that something is changing. Also, sometimes it's helpful to shoot something different than the main subject or character for a scene. For example, to reveal something story relevant to the audience before the character noticed it, or anything that happens simultaneously to the main story, or any other important detail. This type of shot is called the cutaway shot, and any shot size or angle can be used for that. More to the different techniques you will learn in the editing chapter. Now it's your turn. Try to create a simple video while you use these angles and combine it with your story so that the angles enhance the feelings you want to evoke. If you learned something, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to learn even more, check out the All-in Filmmaker course in the link down below. And now, let's create.